morning everybody. I've just realized that I've not switched off the duck. Let me just bring up my Dalmatian picture. Okay, well, let me bring up my Dalmatian picture. Are you sure? Oh yes, I want to remove the duck. Right, hang on. Just trying to see over here, downloads. Okay, right, okay, so let me sort of adjust this so there we go. That makes a little bit more sense so you can actually see what I'm drawing now. Okay, so good morning. Let's start that again. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Hayley. How are you? How is everybody? Now, this is going to be a little bit blurry, I'm afraid, until I actually give it something to focus on. So let's get on with that. Let me just see. Let's do the outline of this eye. Oh, it's so blurry. Oh my goodness. Is it gonna like that? I have actually drawn something. It's not gonna focus until there's something proper on the page for it to focus on. So So I chickened out slightly. I put up those pictures on Discord, the Dalmatian, and I put up the 2 wolf pictures, and I really, really love those wolf pictures. Oh my god, they're just so... I love the wolf pack. I think it's a really dynamic picture. I love the one guarding its food, which is really sort of like a really visceral sort of picture, and I just think that's amazing. And I was going to do the wolf pack first. I did the line art for it. I got that all done yesterday, and then I chickened out because it is such a technical picture to do. Such a technical picture. Oh, hang on, can you even see? Bring the eye down. There we go. It is such a technical picture, and I was just so worried that I would not be able to do it justice. And yeah, so I chickened out slightly, and because when I showed Becca the pictures, she was like, "Oh my god, these are really complicated." And I was like, "Yeah, they are." It's really scary. So I thought, no, do you know what? Do the Dalmatian. Do the Dalmatian first. Get back to drawing dogs with the Dalmatian. And then you can do the wolves later. Morning, Faisal. How are you? But I'm like, oh, I'm so scared. Because I think it's because they are such beautiful pictures to me, both, well, all of them, even the Dalmatian one is a really beautiful picture to me. But those wolves, I've said to you before how much I love wolves. I adore wolves. And they were my favourite animal until I fell in love with otters. Because they make cute little noises. But I really want to be able to do those wolf pictures justice. I really want them to come out as well as they are in the photos, and I'm not sure if I've got the skill level yet to be able to do that. So I just don't know. Is this on blurring yet? Come on, focus on that, focus on the eye. Okay, this isn't going to work, is it? I slowly pull it away. Let's see. Okay, stay there, don't lose focus. Come on, computer, work with me. So yeah, so I chickened out and I thought, you know, I'll just do the Dalmatian first, and we'll see what happens. They're still your favourite animal. Yeah, I mean, wolves are just, there's just something about them, isn't there? I mean, I think it's that wildness, there's the pack nature. They're so similar to dogs, but obviously not. There's that wild element, the knowledge that you will never tame them. There's an experience that you could do, where you can go walking with wolves in the UK. Oh god, it's blurred out again. And come on, focus. And you can literally, well, walk with them. And I'm just like, I would so love to do it, but I'm so against doing it, because I'm just like, that's not what they should be doing. They shouldn't be walking with people. They should just be allowed to be in their natural habitat, not being made to interact with people. So I'm sorry if it's a bit blurry, guys. It keeps focusing out, just until we get something in for it to focus on. Right, I think this, oh sorry, I should mention the colours I've been using. I've just used the dark sepia to get the outline of the eye and the initial pupil down. Then I put black on. I used a little bit of sky blue in the catch light of the eye, and then I've just gone around in the yellow with a green gold, and now I'm about to use the terracotta to add a deeper orangey browny tone to it. So how is everybody? If you're in the UK, I hope you've all been safe from the storms. We thought there would be damage this morning when we got up this morning, but there's not been any damage actually. Places are flooded. There's lots of places underwater. So that's kind of alarming. I took Rosie out for a walk yesterday afternoon. It had been fine all day. It had been quite sunny. It was blowy, but it was quite sunny, and I sort of done all the chores and everything in the house, and I was like, right, I'm taking Rosie for a walk before the rain starts later on. And it was still really bright and sunny. It was just really, really breezy. And I took her out, and we were about halfway round when the sun sort of disappeared. So we were at the furthest point from the house when the sun sort of disappeared and the clouds started to come in. But they didn't look like storm clouds or anything. They weren't like really dark grey or anything that would tell you it was about to dump a load of rain on you. It just kind of looked like you'd get a spring shower at worst. And so I didn't think too much of it when it started to sort of spot with rain. And within 10 minutes, it was an absolute deluge of water. And I was like, I knew Nick was at home, but I thought in my head, because we were having a roast dinner last night, that he'd be like prepping veg and, peeling and chopping and everything. And I thought, if I give him a ring and say, can you come and pick me and the dog up, I thought he'll be busy. And I honestly, I just didn't want to interrupt him while he was busy. Come on, focus on the eye. Come on. Focus. Thank you. Stay focused. So I didn't want to interrupt him. And, but then my phone rang, because I was listening to a podcast anyway, so my phone rang and I answered it, and it was Rebecca saying, Dad says, do you want picking up? So it was like, yes please, because we were getting drenched by this point. And I was on a road where there was a guy's quite high white van was parked, and the rain was sort of coming in at a slant. So I stood in front of this van because it was the only sheltered place that I could find. And we sort of stood there waiting for Nick and Becca to turn up. And they rescued us. So I got into the car. I was absolutely soaking wet. I soaked the front passenger seat because I was just so wet. And Rosie was kind of like, she would have been happy to have carried on. She was quite happy to sort of still play in the water and the rain, because she's a retriever, so she's happy with the rain and everything. And when Nick turned up with a car, there was a beautiful, beautiful double rainbow, which I think Becca took a picture of. So that was quite nice. But we got home and I had to go and change all my clothes because obviously it was soaking wet, and got dry again. And within 5 minutes of being back in the house, oh my god, this picture, come on. Within 5 minutes of being back in the house, the rain stopped, the sun came back out, and everything was fine again, which is just typical. But it only lasted for about half an hour, the sun coming out again, and then we just hit the main storm. Come on camera, focus. Those are wolf conservation places, right? Yes, they are wolf conservation places, the places where you can walk with animals, but I'm very much sort of like, I get that those animals are used to human interaction because they've been raised to have the human interaction, but I just feel kind of like, just let them be wolves. I can admire a wolf through a television show. I can admire a wolf through watching like a nature documentary, or if you live in an area where there are wolves, then you can, watch them in the wild naturally, but I don't feel that they should be forced to interact with humans. A lot of flooding, but you made it to work. Oh, good. Good. You didn't need a canoe. Sorry to hear you guys are having storms. Yeah, it's quite bad. Other areas of the country have got it a lot worse than us. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Lots of people have got it worse off than us. I mean, there are some people, their homes are flooded, their businesses are flooded. They're going to have to deal with a lot of damage, and insurance companies and I think I heard this morning when I got up that places in Jersey and the Channel Islands have been evacuated. Do you guys get snow there? Sometimes we get snow. It's not very often. Where we are in the country, we don't really get snow. We've been here, let's think, how long have we been here? We moved down here in 2005, so, oh god, maths, 18 years ago. And we've had snow once in all that time. And it wasn't particularly heavy snow. It was, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches. So not much. What about you, Artsman? Do you get snow where you are? It sounds like Florida. I wouldn't imagine you get much snow in Florida, do you? Right, so just using that black just to sort of go over some of the lines. Now I'm just going to put in some of this dark walnut brown around the edge just to sort of soften some of that black. Just want to get a real close up of this eye. See, it's a little bit better now. It's the camera's got something to focus on. It's I've not, usually these catch lights in the eye, I would make them really quite light, almost white in colour, but in the picture they're softer than that. They're not as harsh a white, so that's why I made them sky blue, because that just sort of softens down the tone of the catch light in the eye. So you still get that feeling of a reflection of light without it being so stark. Going back to the terracotta. Not supposed to be any snow here, but there was plenty in Colorado. Oh, it's gone blurry again. Oh, honestly, come on. Focus. Right, focus. Hold. Hold. I'll play games with the camera until it can focus on something. So yeah, so just going back to the whole drawing of the wolves, I really, I so want to do those as a drawing and just knock them out of the park, but I honestly, genuinely don't know if I have the skill level. I really don't. I want to do them justice, and I don't want to I don't want to make a start on them and fail at them and be disappointed with myself, if that makes any sense. I know that, as I've said before, art needs to challenge. I'm just going to name it the cold grey one. You know, what's the point of art unless it challenges you? But there's also an element of taking baby steps as you're going, because it's like, I think if you challenge yourself with too big a piece, too complicated a piece to begin with, it can disappoint you to such a degree that you can almost feel a little bit put off and a little bit downhearted by the whole thing, and I don't want to feel that way. I need a little bit of pink in this eye. Let me just sharpen it. I mean, so far I've been doing tiny challenges. So like the iridescent feathers were a challenge. The flamingos, when I did the 2 flamingos, they were a bit of a challenge for me. The kingfisher was a huge challenge because I'd never done feathers like that on a bird before. And I've slowly started to work up, but the wolves, I mean, there's multiple subjects on one page. The wolf pack, for example, are 3 wolves and a background, and the background is quite blurry. So, you know, with the trees with the snow on it, and I'm trying to think, how am I going to get the snow on the trees I really don't know. I have no clue. And the wolf guarding its food, I really want to do the carcass that's at the bottom as well, because it's part of the picture, so you can see what the wolf is guarding. But I'm like, I don't want it to be too visceral, but you have to be able to tell it's a carcass, if that makes any sense. And there's little flecks of snow dotted on the wolf's fur, and I don't know how to do that. I really don't know. You could do some practice parts of the wolves off camera. I mean, that's a good idea, actually. I could do like little sections, couldn't I? And just say on a little 4x6, just do little sections and just see how I do. Yeah, I mean, that is a good idea. But then I'd also kind of feel like, oh, but if you're going to do a little bit, you might as well do the whole thing. And I'm my own worst enemy sometimes, because I have doubt. This is just a little bit of coral, because we've got a little bit of red vein, a little bit of bloodshot red vein here in the eye. I'm just going to go in with the Indian red. Okay, I need that. No, wrong way, that's the warm grey, I want the cold grey. You might be overthinking it. I mean, yeah, that is a real possibility as well. I have a lot of doubt. I mean, I fell in love with those pictures yesterday when I went looking for them. They weren't free pictures, I had to pay for them. And not much. I think it was £10 for both of them, or $10 for both of them, and then it was converted to British money, it was £8 something. So not much at all. And that gives me a license to be able to use them to create any kind of art that I want, so that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I did the line art for the wolf pack. Hang on, let me get that out. I'll show you that I did actually do the line art for it. So I gridded it out first, so you can see that you can always see parts of the grid in the line art, and sort of tried to draw freehand using the grid method. And so I've kind of got the line art all set up, but these trees with the snow in the background are really quite blurry, so I don't know. There is so much detail. I mean, if I can show you the, hang on, where is it? Oops, the computer's about to fall down. So here's the picture close up, but this is all quite blurry. This is blurry. This is in focus. I'm just thinking, how am I going to do these trees? The tree trunks I'm not too worried about. I think they'll be okay. There's an awful lot of snow, because I want to do the background as well. I want to do it as a full sort of picture. And these wolves, there is so much texture in the fur, there is so much shading, but it's the most amazing piece. Do little practice cards, a nose here, an ear there, an eye, a branch with snow on it. I mean, yeah, I think that's actually a good idea. I think if I sort of try and practice this first and try out different ways to do it, then that might make some sense. And then maybe do a little bit, not an ear or a nose, because I feel quite happy with those, but like say this bit of fur texture here. So if I sort of brought it in close and just sort of put a square there and just try to do that bit of fur and just see how it comes out. Yeah, that's a very good idea. That's a very good idea, and I like it. So thank you. I didn't think of that myself. A little practice piece just might be the thing to do. So right, let me get my doggo back out. Right, okay, so let's do... That one's for free, the next will cost you. Yeah, send me an invoice. More coffee, that sounds like a plan to me. Let's get this other eye in. And here was me thinking that art would be relatively stress-free. It's just drawing. It's just drawing. How could that be a stress or a strain? I think it's because I've wanted to do quite a dynamic piece of art, and I think the wolf pack and the wolf guarding its food, oh my god, it's gone blurry again, would be zoom in, so it won't even zoom in on that bit. Oh, there we go, it zoomed it. Right, hold, no, don't blur out. It's gonna blur out, isn't it? Ah, this computer. Yeah, so I wanted to do like a nice dynamic piece for a while, and I think the wolves would make a really dynamic piece, and I think yeah, I'm putting way too much pressure on myself. I am thinking too much about it. Probably the best thing to do would be just to do it, but I think I will practice different ways of doing those leaves and branches. In spare moments while we're doing this one. I think off screen I will practice so that I'm not learning how to do it on screen, because like, you know, with the duck, when I was doing those iridescent feathers that I just didn't know how to do iridescent feathers at all. And the ones on the cheek and the top of the head I wasn't really happy with. But by the time I got down to the throat and did the neck ones, they were much better. So I sort of learned on screen as I was doing it. And I'm just like, I don't want there to be parts of this picture where some parts are good and some parts, oh my god, some parts are bad. I want it all to be good. Because I want to do those pictures justice. So. Welcome to the fear and anxieties of an artist. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of sky blue to this catch light. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with the black. Is it because I'm blocking that eye, maybe with my hand? Has anyone done connections this morning? The New York Times connections. I very nearly fumbled the bag. I used all of my lives and got it on the last go. I don't know why. In the end, it was relatively easy. I don't know why it took me as long as it did. You're going to game for a bit. Looking forward to seeing more art from you on Discord. Take it easy. Yeah, you take it easy too, Artsman. We'll see you another time. Enjoy your gaming. Nick and I did some gaming yesterday. I was in the middle of a battle, a Spike Rush battle, when Becca brought me the that piece of AI art that Jamie shared on Discord of Mango. That was so stinking cute. It was just... oh, it was just amazing. And it got her colouring right as well. It was like, that is Mango's colouring to a T. It was just... and like that little green sprout on the top of her head was like just so cute. This almost looks like this dog's got an eyebrow. That bit goes around this bit. Right, okay, so going in with a little bit of the green gold around this pupil. I think this dog's got beautiful eyes, I must admit. It's got a real lovely sort of terracotta, burnt orange, pumpkin, butternut kind of colours. Real autumn colours in its eyes. It's beautiful. Right, going in with the terracotta. You know how yesterday I was talking about excuse me, I was talking about the cat, the Siamese cat that we did, having the best response on social media. It got like 2,500 views on TikTok, which was amazing to me because normally on TikTok my art posts get about 200. I've had a couple that have gone up to 500, but the cat really sort of took off and got like 2,500, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. And I was talking about posting art that's popular. Well, I posted the duck, the series of photos that I'd taken of the duck's progress, and then the finished picture yesterday, and that one on TikTok completely popped off and went 1,000 views more than the cat. So it's currently sitting at I think it's 3,600 views with God knows how many likes. Let me just turn the sound down so it doesn't just suddenly blur out. Yeah, 3,643, which is crazy. It's had an absolute shed ton of comments on it. It never seems to convert to new followers though, which is kind of annoying. I got, out of those 3,000, I got maybe oh, it's gone blurry again, about four new followers on TikTok. Focus, look into the eyes, not around the eyes, look into the eyes. Focus. Oh, come on, camera. Can no one tell Jamie or Natalie? Yeah, I know. Like, oops. I mean, I did wonder if, because one of the hashtags was duck, I wondered, because of the whole Matthew Perry thing, whether, because they had a chick and a duck in Friends, I wondered if maybe people had just clicked onto it because of that. I have no idea. But yeah, really sort of surprised that the duck literally blew up on my TikTok yesterday. My phone, I had to turn all the notifications off for TikTok because it was just ping, 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 just all day long. And I was not expecting that for the duck because, as I said to you guys, you know, I wasn't overly happy with it. I wasn't thinking that it was my favourite piece of work or anything like that. I thought it could have been better. And it just went a bit mad yesterday. I need that soft, a little bit of pink. Oh, hang on, let me put in the, no, that's the warm grey, I need the cold grey. It's cold grey 2, cold grey 1's over here, still on my desk. It's almost like this dog was a little bit tired and has just woken up just before it had its photo taken. It's like still got little sleepy eyes, little redness in the eyes from like sleeping. You think Jamie watched it 3,000 times, that's the only explanation. Well, you don't know, he might have. He might have. Perhaps Jamie did it 1,500 times and Natalie the other 1,500 times. But yeah, that was crazy to have that happen on the duck. Nick said it was probably because not many people draw ducks, And so that was the only reason that people were like, oh, it's something different, because there's lots of like pet portrait artists that do dogs and cats, as evidenced by the fact that I'm doing a dog and I've recently done a cat. And not many people draw ducks. And ducks are popular, right? I mean, who hasn't gone and fed the ducks as a kid? I used to love going to feed the ducks. When I lived in Nottingham as a kid, we could go to a place called it was called Colic Park, and is that brown? That is brown there, isn't it? Yeah. And we used to go and feed the ducks there, and there would be swans and geese and moorhens and coots, and it was always on. We'd always go on a Sunday, and we'd take the camera, take a loaf of bread, because we didn't know back then that you shouldn't feed wild birds bread. Oh, it's gone blurry again. This is getting on my nerves, this at the moment. Come on. Come on, camera. Catch up. You don't have to do much, but you do have to be in focus. The one where it blurred. Come on. Come on, camera. At least you keep getting to see a close-up of what I'm doing. See, this eye isn't too bad. Still need to work on this one, but come on, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Now stay. Sit and stay. Okay, now it seems to be behaving itself a little bit better. Just using the black just to sort of soften this pupil, so you haven't got such a stark line around it, because that's just not realistic. Did I do it on the other eye? No, I haven't, not yet. Just do that. I think I need just a little bit more of the sky blue in the catch light of that eye, especially sort of at the top and at the bottom. Right, let me just have a look at how the marks around these eyes go. So over here it's quite brown, over here it's kind of like a brown and black mix, with white fur that comes through it, which I'll have to get through with the slice tool. Get the walnut brown out to this section. cold grey in between the brown. It's a bit better. I think the challenge as well with this piece is we have such a lot of white fur on the face. As you look at the reference picture, there's a lot of white. I mean, on the ears and the body there are a lot of black spots and splodges, but here on the face there's a lot of white. So the challenge is going to be getting the white against a white background. I'm just putting in those slight bits of shadow, so it actually does look like I've put fur on the dog's face, so that it's not, doesn't just look like you've got eyes, nose, ears, and then a black and white body. So that'll be interesting. There is a nice bit of shadow at the top of the head that would delineate the top of the head from the actual paper at the back, so that's something. But you can't really see, looking at the reference picture, you can't really see too much of fur direction. So I'm just going to have to think about what I know of the fur direction on a dog's face and just draw in those directions and hope that I get in the, like here there is a shading mark, so it's like just getting those really. It's going to be hard for you to see on the camera, but we shall try, we shall try. Okay, so let's do just using this dark sepia just to put in a very pale grey, well, palish grey, light grey, just to mark in where these darker patches are. Trying to keep in mind the fur direction. So you've got this little splodge here, and it looks a tiny little splodge, and it shouldn't be that complicated, right? But it has fur coming this way, it has fur coming this way, it has fur coming this way, and it has fur coming up in this direction, as signified by the white fur that overlays the edges of it. So I don't know whether to just do like whether to just colour in a dark splodge, and then I can use the slice tool afterwards to indicate those different fur directions. I think I've got to bear in mind that this is just a little meeting point for it all. It comes from that direction and it comes from this direction. Curves up and around. There's a little section here as well. I'll just get them lightly shaded in and then we can continue next week with this one. Because obviously it'll be the lovebird tomorrow. More birdies. Right. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave it today then, guys. Sorry I waffled on so much about those wolves, but I've been worrying about it. But yeah, so there we go. So that's it for today. I'll put a progress pic of this onto Discord. See, when it sits flat under the light like this, because I have the light coming in from this direction, it makes this eye seem a lot lighter than that eye. But when I take the picture, you'll see how different it looks. But yeah, so thank you for joining me, everybody. Yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. Obviously, it's the lovebird tomorrow, and we'll be working on the flowers on that. And yeah, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So take care, everybody. Have a lovely day. Bye.